well.
I could have said the core.
The core!
Yeah. Going ham on that core. The Rat definitely went ham on the core of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not what you want to see. I mean, kind of really showing why everyone was freaking out when Flame Wreath Faceless got spoiled. Like, what? It's just kind of like a big, dumb minion. But that's hard to answer, especially that early. I mean, he's got him on turn 4, turn 6. Mm-hmm. What can you do?
Nothing really. You can lose, but now we're all tied up here, 2 apiece. Looks like we're going into game number 5. Probably going to see a Hunter Mirror matchup, if I had to guess anything. And nope, Chakki's going to throw out the Warrior. And this matchup can be pretty tough. Both of these decks rely heavily on gaining an early board presence. And the Hunter does have tools that can really punish the Warrior. And one of those being one of my favorites, Stampeding Kodo on the Bloodhoof Brave. I'm not actually sure if the Rat has Stampeding Kodo in his deck. I know we've seen at least one Stranglethorn Tiger in that 5 slot. And those are sort of flexible and interchangeable.
Could be splitting the decision as well, running one copy of each.
Yeah.
And my favorite part of the mulligan phase when both players have to wait to avoid giving away any information.
It's like neither of them are even looking at the screen because they know. It's like when one person mulligans first, they give up an advantage. But then when one person realizes that they both just alt-tab.
See, it looks to me like they're both like really looking hard at the screen. Like, he's going to mulligan. I know it. Like, this is going to be the time he does it.
Chakki's just online, just reading off in a giant list of Snapple facts, trying to point out the ones that he hasn't read yet. It's a very small list.
Could have been staring at each other in the camera setup.
Yeah, they actually can see each other. The way we have the camera set up for One Nation Gamers feature tournaments is they can see each other's webcams. So it sort of simulates that live environment where they might be able to pick up on cues. And one of the reasons why both these guys are also just deadpan.
Yep, so Chakki, no early play here. Slam, certainly welcome to help fend off this pressure. But when you see coin 2-drop, you can usually rest assured that there's another one in there. Like, if this is corn 2-drop into hero power, that's going to be really bad.
Yep. I don't think you really have a choice, though. Like, even if you know that a 2-drop's coming next, I think you still slam here, just because you're going to slam one of them. The difference is negligible, and you're going to take an extra 3 damage in order to wait to try and slam the next one. And Frothy Berserker picked up. That's going to be a pretty good draw. It does contest this huge toad. Might even live to tell another tale of berserking.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got to be the Frothy Berserker. You have to, it does contest the board half the time. So it's pretty darn important. And the Rat's going to take a look at this Eagle Horn Bow and go, should I trade? Should I go face? Looks like he's going to trade first and evaluate. I mean, there's a chance he forgoes the Eagle Horn Bow, I guess.
You can just play Fiery Bat. If he hits that slime or huge toad juggle, and he might just play Fiery Bat and Hero Power. Yeah, that's going to be it.
Yeah, nice juggle for the Rat there. And now Chakki, this Bloodhoof Brave does sneak in right under the turn for Kodo, so I imagine he's eyeing Bloodhoof Brave and then Ravaging Ghoul and Battle Rage on turn 5.
Mm-hmm. He might be afraid of Houndmaster, but Houndmaster doesn't really punish him. Houndmaster comes out. You could like trade the Fiery Bat in and still keep it alive, but then of course Ravaging Ghoul once again makes you trade to the board, and you can still Battle Rage for 2 regardless. This also makes it so you're dodging Stampeding Kodo for a turn, which we see that in the Rat's hand. So I think it's really important to get this Bloodhoof Brave out right now.
Yeah, this is a great turn for Chakki. I mean, this is about exactly what you want to happen. And the Rat actually kept a copy of Savannah Hyman in his opening hand and draws the second one, so he does have that mid-game push, which is going to be a lot of gas. But Chakki picking up the extra cards here and really taking control of the board. It's looking pretty favorable for him.
And he's actually, going to clear the board. Forgo the Battle Rage, but...
Yeah, looks like he's lining that up for turn 6 then instead. Play the Kor'kron Elite, maybe trade it over something. And the Juggle actually hits that Ravaging goal, which is really important here. So still going to be Battle Rage for 2, Kor'kron Elite, and then he's connecting for 7 after the Rat's taking 5. So this is kind of like, this is where the assault begins for Chakki now. And this is a big deal. I mean, he's pretty low on cards at this point. And even Armorsmith joins the party. That may delay Battle Rage by another turn.
I'm not sure, though. How much do you value putting an Armorsmith on the board here?
Well, the Rat is almost certainly going to be Eaglehorn bowing the Kor'kron Elite if he decides to attack.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, just going to take his card draws right away. Picks up Blood to Ichor. That's a nice answer. Yep, and here we go. Is this
down to 18.
Enough?
Most likely going to be 15 after the swing comes in on this Eaglehorn bow. Or, sorry, he's going to swing into the higher attack. It's going to be down to 14. Slam picked up.
I mean, how hip are you to drawing cards at this point?
Slam, execute.
Well, Slam Evaluate's going to be the first step of this. And Grom is a great one. I mean, you're looking at...
Yeah, he's holding on to Blood for Ichor now. I think, for the activator.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. I mean, he might just feel like he's inclined to jam it on turn 8, run over one of these 2/2s, and try to connect, but that's going to be very rudely interrupted if the Rat has basically any pressure to add back behind this. You know, how many activators are in Chakki's deck, too? I think that's going to influence a lot of this. This is going to Blood to Ichor right away. And that means no execute, as far as I'm concerned. This is armor up and connect the face. So Chakki really putting some heat on the Rat here. I mean, these trades look really miserable from this Savannah Highmaid's perspective. This is actually kind of a brilliant play here. And so the Rat very limited on mana. I mean, this is the difference between 7 and 8 mana here. If he could Kodo and play Eaglehorn Bow, I think he'd be looking in a lot better shape.
Tracking can allow him to pick up something more. Tracking can allow him to pick up a Houndmaster, but that would still make his mana really awkward because he'd only have 2 mana remaining. And again, unfortunately, apologize, but a little bit of a spectator bug at the moment where choose one effect, the discover effect is not showing up. Use your imagination. Imagine that's 2 Call of the Wilds and a Houndmaster. What would you choose?
Yeah, I mean, imagine it's dragons. Call the Wild. I mean, he does not. I don't know if he has time to really get this done. This is going to be trade and Kodo. So they've stifled the pressure now. And actually, at Call the Wild looking pretty significant. Wrathy Weaponsmith isn't too bad.
You still need to get there. I mean, do you Wrathy Weaponsmith this turn and try and Grom into Varian Rin?
I wonder.
That seems like giving the Rat a lot of time. He just tracking, and he's been holding cards in his hand. You know Call of the Wild's coming next turn.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so as well.
You start trading off the board with this?
I mean, I think you got to start. I think you have to trim a little bit. Like the last thing you want the Rat to do is have very easy trades in what's going on, because at this point, if Chakki picks up 1 mana activator, you're looking at turn 10 being able to kill with Grom.
Yeah.
So execute there. Yeah, this isolates it pretty nicely. And actually now, if Chakki draws a 1-cost activator, he can win the game in the coming turn, because the Rat is, very unlikely to trade super favorably in this spot. I mean, unless he runs the Huffer into the Wrathy Weaponsmith, which just might have to be the play at this point. But I don't know. He's got a ton of options. Even the Houndmaster's just looking pretty good here. I mean, I'm not passing up Call of the Wild, that's for sure. But his trades are really going to matter in this spot.
Just going to play it safe.
That's a good one. I actually forgot about the buff on that guy, so that's important. And Chakki drawing Corcoran Elite. This will potentially set up the Grom, but maybe he just wants to use Grom and try to draw attention with it, go into Varian and use Corcoran as the 4 from hand to try to close.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's going to be.
Yeah. Varian Rand is going to be a huge deal on this board. I mean, if you pull out some impactful minions, then you could be in great shape. Probably Karen's still left in this deck, Rag's still left in this deck, a Bloodhoof Brave, Frothing Berserker. Pretty much any minions at this point are incredibly threatening with how low the Rat is.
Kill Command and Savannah Highmane. I mean, feels Oh, it's going to be Houndmaster instead. Feels. I would imagine
he worried about?
Protected.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really interesting play. I mean, I guess I don't even know. There's not 2 charge minions left.
Yeah.
So here we go, Varian. This Varian needs to be on point here, and you can see the Rat looks very uncomfortable in the face of that.
Minion.
Oh, and what a minion! Ragnaros.
Oh man.
Feels off, takes out that 4/6 time. Suddenly the Rat on a big back foot. Chakki just thumbs up in approval.
Seems good.
Now, Deadly Shot does have a 3-to-1 chance here. He can clear out this Fierce Monkey and then try to Deadly Shot that Ragnaros, but then how does he just deal with the 7/7? I think this is checkmate.
This is, yeah. Even if you hit the Rag, you're staring at 9 damage on the board. Corcoran Elite in the hand. Of course, the Rat does not know that, but this game is done.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, what a Varian.
And that's why these cards put into the deck.
Army of Stormwind, indeed.
It's like a better Yogg-Saron.
Maybe can actually live through the Rag Shot now. But it's 50-50. Chakki's, he's not slowing down.
Yeah,
and not anywhere near dying.
Even if you live through the Rag Shot, he's probably just going to slam Corcoran Elite, slam Karen. There's just no way he loses, I feel. Okay, he's going to fit in an armor up, going to get Frothing Berserker out there as well. I suppose Frothing Berserker represents more potential damage with Rag Shots and having to trade into the Bloodhoof Brave, so this makes some sense. But 50-50 chance to just win the game on the spot, and Chakki takes game number 5. And that's in I want to say, a pretty tough matchup for these Warrior decks. But now he's just got, I believe, his Hunter deck remaining, which he's either got to win a mirror matchup or go into a Reno lock matchup and win that. I think Chakki's got a good shot of making it to the finals.
We've seen the Hunter versus Reno matchup this weekend. It is not kind to the Reno player. The Hunter just has so many large endgame threats that are not effectively dealt with. This is dire straits for the Rat. He has to be perfectly on point. He has to have the right answers. If he missteps at all, it's going to be over. And when you're behind that significantly in a matchup, it usually entails taking more risks.